Well, welcome back to Liftoff. Today, we're going to be asking the biggest question in the Five Nights at Freddy's community. What is inside of the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 box? This mystery has been around for like over 9 years. Everyone and their grandmas have been wondering this question. Most people think it's the crying child's body, which I personally do not get. Why would Afton keep a corpse of his very own child in a box? But regardless, people think it, so it doesn't matter what I think. Second, people think it's Michael's Foxy mask that he wore during the bite of 83. Sad from his brother's death, he locked it away in one of his toy boxes. I see this one as more reasonable than, dead kid. But this franchise is notorious for dead kids, so it's not impossible. But today, I would like to put my own theory of what I think is in the box.
Was that the
What
bite
I
of
know is
87?
in the box. Most people just go off of small pieces of evidence, but I'd like to go off big pieces of evidence to, prove it. But first, I would like to give a shout out to Autumn Allard. Here is your energy drawing for having your comment picked to be our theory today. Remember to leave your comment down below for, a chance to get picked for your theory to get answered. Now, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into what I think is in the box. Actually, before we get into that, I would like to mention one thing that is crucial to learning what's in the box. William's hatred towards Henry. We know in all the Fnaf games, we know in the books and the movies, that William hates Henry. He wants to destroy everything he has. His daughter, his sanity, his robots, the company, everything. He wants Henry to suffer because his creation is the thing that killed his son. So, what do I think is in the box? Fredbear, the animatronic. The one that killed his son. Also known as Golden Freddy. Now you're probably telling me I'm an idiot. You're right, but that's not the point. I think whatever's in the box, I think it's Fredbear. We have not seen that much because it was something that we have seen a lot. It wouldn't make sense to keep it that hidden. I know most people are gonna say, oh, but we'll never know what's in the box. Scott forgot. That doesn't matter. What matters is what is in the box. Just because Scott forgot doesn't mean that there's nothing in the box. There's something in the box. That being Fredbear. We see Golden Freddy in FNAF 1 through 3, and we see Nightmare Fredbear in FNAF 4. But these are just all hallucinations. These aren't physical. Golden Freddy isn't there. He isn't really there. His ghost is, but not the actual robot. This could actually make a lot of sense, since we know William's hatred towards Henry wanted to destroy everything he had. He wanted to make sure Henry's creation never got out. Fredbear. But since we know ghosts can appear in the FNAF movie, we know no matter where the animatronic is, they could turn into ghosts. They could walk around. That's how Golden Freddy is. He's stuck underground. Wait, underground? Yep. I think the dirt pile in Midnight Motorist is where the box is sealed underground. I think William tried to bury his son because he knew he would possess the Golden Freddy animatronic and tried to stop him by keeping him underground. This obviously didn't work, as we know that Golden Freddy and Fredbear seem to come back. And it's pretty obvious that William wasn't the richest man in the world. He had money, but he wasn't super rich. So it would make sense to dig a grave for his son. He didn't have much of the proper tools. He couldn't afford a gravestone, so he just put Fredbear in a box because he knew the crying child would be possessing it, and just put it underground. We don't know the actual size of the box. We know it would probably be kind of small. He could have just put some parts of the... I just realized. It could just be the head of Fredbear, and that's why we see Golden Freddy's only... His prominent part of Golden Freddy is his head. But this wouldn't make a lot of sense. We know Crying Child is alive in Midnight Motorist because we see him escape, and later that night, out the window, William is pissed. Michael just doesn't care. But we know Scott has retconned something in the franchise. We don't know what. And I'm taking a guess and saying, this. I think the Crying Child wasn't the one who ran away from home. It was Elizabeth. Her brother came back to her in a ghost spirit. Exactly what happened in the Fnaf movie. Golden Freddy in spirit came to a house and took a little girl away, back to the pizzeria. This is what we see happen in Midnight Motorist. It's a parallel. I think the footprints outside the house was Fredbear's ghost, like we see in the Fnaf movie, because we know even though they're ghosts, they can move stuff, they can touch stuff, they can leave their footprint. What the So I think Fredbear came back to help Elizabeth escape from the horrible Afton household. And we know something has happened. One of the kids has to be dead because we know William is already drinking. We know Charlie's already dead at this point. And by this point, we know none of the other animatronics are probably possessed yet. We know Golden Freddy doesn't have a vendetta against Afton yet. So I'm guessing he hasn't killed Cassidy yet, meaning there's only one spirit in Golden Freddy, Crying Child. To prove my point even more, in Midnight Motorist, we see Michael. He's depressed. He did something. He killed Crying Child. When Afton left him alone with Elizabeth, he just didn't even care to check on her. Because we know if it was Crying Child, he would have just been straight up bullying him, being a menace. But no. He sat down, slumped on a chair, watching TV. Something that helps my case even more. We know that some of the Fazbear Fright stories are parallels to the games. And in a step closer, book 4 in the Fazbear Fright series, the final story, Coming Home, is about an animatronic taking a little girl away from her home. Is this a coincidence? Probably, but in case it isn't, this is a very strong, very helpful thing to my theory. I think it's just Fredbear, the actual animatronic inside of the box, possessed by Golden Freddy and Crying Child. But there's just one thing wrong. How does Cassidy possess Golden Freddy? Here's the thing. We see in the files of Fnaf 4, the box opens. Something has let Golden Freddy out. Afton. He needed an animatronic to stuff Cassidy in. He sees that the animatronic is just deactivated. He's guessing maybe Crying Child didn't possess it. So he pushes Cassidy in there and locks it back up. And now they're both possessing Golden Freddy. Pretty good evidence, in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think is in the box? Please subscribe, and I guess leave your comment for the next theory. We already have our next theory planned out on what is JJ. So, we'll see you guys soon. Fnaf. I have to stretch this video out because I made it too long. This is Liftoff signing out.